Hello and welcome. We are live once again at the Keach Hospice Care Stadium. A huge game, arguably the biggest game so far in Biggleswade United's season. It is the FA Vars first round proper, and Biggleswade United welcome REDBRIDGE FC, third in the Essex Senior League Premier Division. They're a very, very tough side. Biggleswade United have only got to the second round of the FA Vars, and if they win today, they would have equalled their best ever run in the FA Vars. Of course, Biggleswade United beat two fellow Essex Senior League sides in White Ensign, a 3-0 victory, and a 3-2 victory in the first qualifying round against Southend Manor to get to the first round proper. This is the team news as we await the teams to come out. We've got just under 5 minutes to go till kickoff. Make sure you stay followed to the Biggleswade United Twitter account. That's on Biggleswade UTD, so never miss a Twitter space. And we will be putting this up on YouTube a couple hours after the match. We are doing a live video stream, but it will be out after the match. So thank you all for tuning in to the audio stream for a huge game. Biggleswade United, the teams are about to make their way onto the pitch. We're just waiting, I think, for the REDBRIDGE side so they can both walk out together. 3 changes for Biggleswade United this afternoon. A return in goal for Ollie Leslie, our number 1 goalkeeper. Tom Wyant, he's not in the squad this afternoon, but Ollie Leslie's back, which is a big boost to the team. And it's good to see this good competition for places in goal now with Ollie back as well, and Tom, very good goalkeeper, as well as Michael Hudson. A back four is going to be a very interesting one today. Very experimental team. Back four today is Cameron Hyde at left back. Right back, Milo Keane. FA Vars winner of last season with Newport Pagnell, Jordan Wright, returns to his side after serving his 1-match suspension last week. And to partner him is a very familiar face he knows very well in Jordan Gerald. A midfield three of Lewis Jones in the holding midfield. Mason Watkins-Clark and Jaden Irish. Normally Lewis and Mason, normally centre-halves, but they're playing in midfield today. And a front three, a very recognisable of Yemi Adelani, Taylor Winey on 11 goals for the season, and Markel Cousins. And on the bench for Biggleswade United, we have Jamel McKenzie, Normal Club captain Gaz Hunt, only on the bench today, as well as Connor Inskip, Justin Illo, Raheem Jabba, who's on 5 goals in his first season for the club, Don Moglia, who returned to the club a couple of weeks ago, as well as Jaheim Fleming. So that is 3 changes. That's Tom Wyant, Gaz Hunt and Justin Illo, who all make way for Ollie Leslie, Jordan Wright and Lewis Jones. As both teams are ready. They're about to walk on the pitch. I think we're just waiting for the match officials. Thank you all once again for tuning in. Make sure you stay subscribed to the Biggleswade United YouTube channel and stay followed to the Twitter account as well, as both teams are ready in. There's a decent crowd here today, as we expected here at the Keach Hospice Care Stadium. A huge game for Biggleswade United, as I mentioned. 3 changes. If you are just joining us, just to restate the team, as both teams are ready, and they have come out with a good atmosphere here as well. Ollie Leslie in goal. Back 4, Cameron Hyde, Jordan Wright and Jordan Gerald, Milo Keane. Midfield 3 of Lewis Jones, Mason Watkins-Clark and Jaden Irish, who captains the side this afternoon. Front 3 of Yemi Adelani, Taylor Winey and Markel Cousins. Should be a massive game. A little bit about the visitors. This is how they shape up this afternoon. In goal, they have Connor Wheatley. Bradley, number 2, Bradley Bennett. Number 3, Joseph Elliott. Number 4, Robbie Norris. Number 5, Eddie Benoit. Number 6, Nathan Okoye. Number 7, Solomon Ogunwonoju. Number 8, Jack Chorner. Number 9, Anthony Martin. Number 11, Teo Joshua Alokolu. And number 16, Simon Bamidele. Players to watch out for REDBRIDGE FC. If you don't know anything about REDBRIDGE, let me just quickly go through a few things. So they are third in the Essex Senior League. They have played 10 games in the division. They've won 7, they've drawn 1, they've lost 2. Their top goal scorer with 9 goals is Solomon Ogunwonoju, with 9 goals, and he does start this afternoon for REDBRIDGE, so he's definitely going to be a player to watch out for, and we hope we can keep quiet this afternoon. Both teams are just readying. Looks like Anthony Martin as well, who's got 7 goals for the season, also starts for REDBRIDGE, as well as the big miss one there for them is Miles Peterson, who is not playing this afternoon. He's on 8 goals for the season, so he's not playing for REDBRIDGE this afternoon. But the two that I mentioned, Solomon and Anthony, are both starting on 11 and 9 and 7 respectively. Goals for the season so far. So we've got Taylor Winey as our top goal scorer with 11 goals. Yemi, Markel, and Yahim all on 5 goals. They're the 4 attackers in our team. And it's going to be a huge game. Be interesting to see with Ollie Leslie back after Tom impressing, I think, in the first couple of games he's returned to the club. But it's also good to see Ollie back there as well. Different shape. Never seen Lewis Jones and Mason Watkins-Clark in midfield, so it's going to be very interesting how it shapes up, whether it's going to be like more defensive off the ball and then up attack. It's not. I've been told it's still going to be the same shape of that 4-3-3 that we like playing so much. In the London Colney win, it was a victory, but it wasn't exactly the most, not London Colney, sorry, Colney Heath. It wasn't as convincing, and we did miss the very vocal presence of Jordan Wright in between the centre half, and he's going to be a big boost to return to the team this afternoon. He knows all about winning the FA Vase as Jordan Wright, after being winner of the FA Vase with Newport Pagnell Town last year, going all the way to Wembley, as Biggleswade United would love to dream of that happening. One game at a time, of course. We're only in the first round proper. We've played 3 rounds, and we are ready to kick off any second now. So thank you all for tuning in, and we are ready and almost underway. We have 1 minute past, so we haven't quite kicked off at exactly 3 o'clock, because Taylor Winey will be looking to kick us off from right to left any second now, as the referee looks to check his whistle. Haven't quite kicked off yet, as we are about to kick off here at the Keach Hospice Care Stadium. Huge game between Biggleswade United and REDBRIDGE FC. Referee checks his watch. We're on 2 minutes past 3, ref. And we are underway here at the Keach Hospice Care Stadium as Taylor Winey kicks us off with Mason Watkins-Clark, of course, in midfield. He gets it through to Milo Keane. Now back to Jordan Wright, who's kicked the ball over the top. They're looking for a strong start today, Biggleswade. That ball over the top, straight out of play for a throw-in. There's a lot of team play, a lot of fans seem to be coming now. A lot of good views. Good to see Guillaume Balagay here as well this afternoon. Jordan Wright heads it away from the REDBRIDGE throw. They're looking for a quick start. REDBRIDGE are in a lot of form themselves. That's a loose ball by Cameron Hyde, which he could well be in trouble here if things. It's a poor cross in the end. Luckily for Biggleswade, by Teo Joshua Adekulu. Apologies if I butchered the name. Got to make sure my tripod's adjusted properly. And the referee has got 2 balls on the pitch very early on, 3 minutes in. 2 balls already on the pitch. And the referee got to make sure that is not the case, and it will be a goal kick to Biggleswade United. Christian make sure he kicks the ball off the field. That's the gaffer, of course, Christian Collas, who we will be talking to after this match for a post-match. Hopefully a positive one, but that's the goal kick from Ollie. Taylor's going to look to latch onto this. It's a loose header here. Now Marco Cousins could be away very early on. Marco Cousins! It's levered it wide. He had options going forward as well, but what an opportunity that could be there for... what an opportunity that could be for Biggleswade. Straight away, they could have capitalised from a loose ball, and Markel Cousins shot well over the bar in the end. And the goal kick's taken here for REDBRIDGE. Biggleswade looking to win them second balls. Lewis and Mason have done well so far, with Jaden, of course, who captains the side this afternoon. JJ with the ball over the top. He's looking for Markel Cousins. That's a lovely ball to Markel Cousins with the cross in. And again, it's just over the bar by Markel Cousins. One thing I have failed to mention in the build-up to this one, Biggleswade United's home form so far this season. Home form so far this season is sorry, I got thrown off by something there. Apologies. Their home form so far this season, they've played 8, won 6, drawn 1, and lost 1. And Yeah, so they're in very good form at home so far this season. I think they're on a run of 4 matches in a row, 4 winning matches in a row. It is actually a free kick now to Redbridge. Apologies there. I was completely caught off guard by something there. But we are still here. And it will be a free kick now to Redbridge. Crossed in. Could well be a dangerous position. Ollie Leslie collects away in the end. Didn't come to much. Ollie Leslie with the long kick. Markel Cousins, a beautiful ball by Ollie, straight to Markel. Had a couple of loose shots so far in the match. He's been isolated there. Looking for a counter-attack, but Biggleswade United in the opening 4 minutes of the game started really, really strong, making sure to keep the ball. I think having this tie at home would be pivotal, and that was a loose ball set up by Jaden Irish winning the ball back. Got to win them second balls a lot more than they did in the last game at London Colney. And it was Jordan Wright who headed it back to his goalkeeper in the end. Biggleswade United 0, Redbridge FC 0. And it's Jordan Wright. Do a little bit of pressure here, Jordan Wright, but he's shrugged it off well. It's back to Jordan Gerald. For that ball there to Mason. Couldn't quite keep his feet there. Mason Watkins Clark. And now it's back with Lewis Jones, who's collected it comfortably into Ollie Leslie. Ollie Leslie clears the kick away. He's looking for the overlap with Milo Keane. It's been cleared away in the end by Nathan Okoye for Redbridge FC. And it's Jaden Irish. Milo Keane. It's a good, promising start here by Biggleswade, as I mentioned. Lewis Jones. Looking for Markel Cousins. The ball always seems to be on for him in the early goings. And the ball in the end come out there for Milo Keane. It's out of play for another throwing out to Redbridge. Bradley Bennett over the ball now for Redbridge with the throw. Headed away by Mason Watkins Clark. Majority of the play has been in Biggleswade United's attacking half of football. They've started tremendously well in this one. Jaden Irish that time has been shoved off the ball by Simon Bamadelli. And now it's the number 7, Solomon Agomomaju. With the cross in, Jordan Wright heads away. Taylor Winey. Yemi Adelani's first real touch of the ball here. He's got it back to his defence. Been very confident on the ball. It's a much better start to this game as the Colney Heath match for Biggleswade United. Jordan Wright. The ball over top. He's looking for that ball to Markel once again. They've doubled up on him here very quickly, Redbridge. They know the danger. Mason Watkins wins it back only to lose it again. But now it's back with Jaden Irish in a lot of space. Here he's got Yemi Adelani to his left. It's a poor ball in the end there by Jaden Irish. And now Redbridge FC back on the ball now. A brilliant crunching tackle by Mason Watkins Clark. But I tell you what, actually, they're not happy with that. A lot of the Redbridge players are surrounding the referee. Mason Watkins Clark did come in a little bit rash there, but it'd be interesting to see what the referee will think of this. We're only 8 minutes into the game. Mason, you could tell his intent was to get the ball, but he certainly did go from the back of him. So You want to be careful here. Referee is getting his cards out. I really hope this isn't a sending off, because I wouldn't exactly say it was a sending off decision for Mason. It's a yellow card for Mason Watkins. I think it's the right decision. I don't think it was as intense as it looked. I mean, the player for REDBRIDGE FC, I can't quite tell who it is as he's on the floor. But his intent was certainly to get the ball, Mason Watkins Clark, and he's a brilliant player, but sometimes he can be a little bit rash, and certainly got a bit of a man as well as the ball. But I mean, this is in the attacking half. Of course, you're listening on the Twitter space, so just to describe it, it's in Biggleswade's attacking half. It's in the REDBRIDGE defensive half that Mason's made this tackle. So it isn't like it's a last man decision. It's a yellow card. It is a bit of a rough tackle, but it wasn't last man. He's back on his feet as well, the number 4, which is Robbie Norris, which is good to see he's back on his feet. And yellow card is probably the right decision. Mason's just got to be a little bit careful in there. Yeah, he's just got to be a little bit careful in there. As it is a free kick now to REDBRIDGE. The number 11's just slipped completely off the ball there. And it's allowed Milo Keane to collect the ball well. Take it away. And REDBRIDGE collect the ball once again. Milo Keane. Biggleswade United win a lot more of these second balls today than they were last week. I've mentioned that once already. And the ball's been cleared away by Nathan Okoye for another throw to Biggleswade in a decent position. They're attacking half as well. And it's Milo Keane. The Keane now back out to Markel Cousins. Now Milo Keane. Milo to Lewis Jones. Now back with Jordan Gerald. That ball over the top, looking for Adelani. Just too far from Jay to Yemi. And it's out of play for a throw-in to Biggleswade. But they're getting a hell of a lot on the ball here, Biggleswade, from a side that I thought REDBRIDGE would give Biggleswade a really, really tough test this afternoon. It's still early days and it's still 0-0, but at the moment, Biggleswade are definitely using the fact they're at home to their advantage, because they have started very strongly without really creating anything so far, I have to say. They knew it was going to be a tough game out there this afternoon. A lot of really, really, really talented players out here for Biggleswade United as well. Jordan Wright, Mason Watkins Clark, Lewis Jones, talented players. Normally centre-halves, Lewis and Mason, but they are playing in midfield today. It just tells you just how much quality they have, that Christian's decided to give them a go in midfield today, which is very different. But if it works, it's an absolute masterstroke. And so far, very early days, they seem to be working all right together now with Milo Keane, Jordan Wright, looking to play this ball over the top now. Mason looks to make the run. It's straight into the hands of their captain, Connor Whitley, in the REDBRIDGE FC goal. Not really much going on so far. Both teams are very high scoring as well. So I'd have expected goals in this match. Mason Watkins caught with the header away. Apologies there. Jordan right there with not liking exactly what he heard there from the referee. So apologies if you heard that. A bit of bad language. He didn't like what he I'm not sure what he's given the foul on, actually. I think it was on Mason Watkins' scarf, a little bit of a shove there. It's already on a yellow, but it was a very, very soft foul to give away. And it is another free kick here. And it's a sort of referee, and even Christian, he doesn't understand either. I'm not quite sure why that was given either. But it's a free kick here. Another crossing opportunity here, near the halfway, but it's crossed in. A lot of players up for this for REDBRIDGE. The shot's been lashed away by Anthony Martin. It's still in play. Milo can't seem to clear it. And it's Teo Joshua Akulu, who Milo's got the beat of him there. He's managed to win the ball back, and now it's back with Jordan Wright. He's under a lot of pressure, but he gets it back to Ollie Leslie, who clears away well. Yemi Adelani, it's a lovely ball to him, and there's options here for Yemi if he wants them. Yemi now to Taylor. Taylor back to Jaden Irish, who's kept it in play. Yemi, it's time to run, maybe to perfection here. Yemi Adelani, the flag's up for offside. I think Yemi wanted that ball a little bit sooner than when he got it. He made the run, and Jaden just took his time a little bit to make the pass, and unfortunately, Yemi's ended up running offside, and the linesman has quite rightly flagged for offside. For all their very good possession, Biggleswade, they will want to capitalise with a goal because they can be very dangerous, this Redbridge FC side. I mentioned how good they have been in their season so far. The one thing that does go in Biggleswade United's favour is their fantastic home form. Only one loss in their first 8 matches in all competitions, that is, as well. I should also mention, with only 1 draw and 1 defeat. That defeat coming at home in a very bizarre game against Sheffield Town in Camden, a 4-2 loss in a game where the floodlights failed in a midweek game. It's JJ over the free kick. It's gone very high here, but it's still going to be in play. Mason Watkins headers it. But it's back with the defender. That's a loose touch, though, and Jordan Wright's going to win the ball back. He stayed up for this. Jordan Wright looking for Mason Watkins-Clark. The flag stays down. Mason Watkins-Clark looking to find Markel. Couldn't quite find Markel Cousins. Mason Watkins-Clark. Throw-in's taken for Redbridge. And they've come out well here now, Redbridge. And Milo's got a battle here with Teo. Joshua Akulu. It's Akulu who's won it. Milo still with him. He's fluffed his lines there, Akulu. He wants the corner. It stays in play, says the linesman, and it's a goal kick. He wanted the corner. He felt that Milo's touch hit it out for a corner. Linesman said it stayed in play, and the ref and the goalkeeper caught it, so it is a goal kick. But that's just a little warning sign of how that left-hand side with Joshua Alukulu. Olakulu, apologies if I butchered that name. I'll try my best to get the pronunciation spot on today. And Ollie Leslie takes the goal kick. Mason Watkins with a brilliant header in behind. Taylor Winey's onside. Could well be through on goal here. He's got options with him. He's drifted a little bit wide. He's still on the ball. Taylor Winey gets the cross away. Headed out by Nathan Okoye, who's still in play now. Markel Cousins just outside the box now. Chests it down. It's Markel Cousins. As Biggleswade looking to continue this press. It's crossed in. Cleared away. And now it's Lewis Jones. Oh, and the ball's just too heavy in the end there for Yemi Adelani. But it's another decent opportunity going forward for Biggleswade United. It's just that final ball at the moment. They're just lacking. And I'm now going to try and battle a wasp that hopes to go away. So apologies if you see me walking around. It's gone. We're all good. We're safe here in the gantry. And there's a Redbridge FC player down as well from a block of the shot. Looks to be back on his feet now is Nathan Okoye, who's been very good. He's been a busy boy at centre-half today. It's a very long throw. It's come all the way through to Jordan Wright. He's under a little bit of pressure here, Jordan, but he's very comfortably using his experience brilliantly. Back to Ollie Leslie. I would say mainstays of the club, but they've been in and out of the club. They know the club well. The likes of Jordan Wright, John Gerald, Ollie Leslie, Gaz Hunt, now Jaden Irish. All been around the club the last 4, 5, 6 years. Jordan might have left for about a year and a half or so, but he's back, of course, this season. Returned. This is only his second match back in the Biggleswade United shirt, the former club captain, that is. Returned more mature. He's now a father as well. Jordan Wright. And he's come back home after his FA Vars heroics last season with Newport Pagnell Town. He's now in the FA Vars first round proper with Biggleswade United. And Cameron Hyde, that was a very heavy touch in the screening, but the referees played the advantage for Redbridge here. They're going to keep playing Redbridge FC. Cameron Hyde trying to win the ball back, but can't offer a Ogumaju. And what an opportunity that is. Ogumaju, the flag's up for offside. It wouldn't have counted anyway. But Ogumaju, the man who scored 9 goals for the season so far, has played in Anthony Martin, who's got 8 for the season so far. And what looks like a tap-in, it looked like a tap-in, but he's blazed it over the bar. A huge chance here for the visitors. And the referee, I think, is going to speak with Cameron Hyde, or at least maybe put out the yellow card for the original foul that he did play advantage for. But a huge chance there. And Biggleswade United were cut open there at the back for the first time in the opening 18 minutes. And you have to say it's probably the best chance of the match for either side. It's the number 6, Nathan Okoye, once again. He's been in the wars this afternoon. Took the challenge and he's back down and he's getting some treatment from the physio. And a reminder, once the physio is doing his work here, a big thank you to our sponsors. Of course, Winchmore Brickwork, the main men's senior team sponsor for Biggleswade United. We'd like to thank VO for being the sponsor of the women's teams, both the Reds and the Blues. J&B Motorsport for being the sponsor of the Vets team. Recycling Lives as a general sponsor. And Flawless Landscapes for, of course, being the sponsor of the reserve team. And, of course, the Keach Hospice Care for sponsoring, formerly known as Second Meadow, the Keach Hospice Care Stadium. We'd like to thank them for being our ground sponsor, of course. As number 6, Okoye looks to be back on his feet. He's hobbling, but he still looks like I'm not quite sure if he's hobbling off the pitch here. Looks like for the time being they're down to 10, but I think he looks to be hobbling towards the bench. And maybe I think we're going to be getting an early substitution here for Redbridge. Okoye looks like he'll be coming off. And it looks like, that's the substitution. That is confirmation. Okoye is off for the visitors. I'm just trying to get a shirt number for the visitors. I will try and confirm that in just a minute, who has come on for Redbridge. But the goal kick's now taken for Ollie Leslie. And it's a Watkins Clark. It's number 19. But I will say that in a minute because Markel Cousins, number 19, straight into the action. I'm going to get his name in just a moment. Either way, it's Ayo Adenayel coming up, who has come on for the visitors. And Yemi Adelani's done brilliantly there to win the ball back for his team. Now ball back with Cameron Hyde, who gets it back to Ollie Leslie in the Biggleswade United goal. 20 minutes played. Biggleswade United 0, Redbridge FC 0. Thank you all for tuning into the Twitter space, and we will have the full match highlights a couple of hours after this game finishes. Again, with Biggleswade, I've enjoyed a very much good spot of possession, but going forward, they're just lacking that cutting edge at the moment. Biggest chance of the match, if you are just joining us, a huge chance by Anthony Martin that looked like a tap-in, but he's blazed it over the bar for the visitors. But other than that, that's all we've really got so far. Markel Cousins had a couple chances, but he's ended up hitting over the bar, which is unlike him. And most of the ball is with Biggleswade United, but Redbridge certainly posed a threat on the counter-attack of Jemi Adelani this time. Once again, caught offside on that left-hand side. And the free kick's now going to be taken by the goalkeeper, Connor Whitley. It's a long kick. Can try and find the centre-halves. The forwards, sorry, not centre-halves. And they couldn't quite clear it away. Milo and JJ getting in the way of each other. At the end, it's cleared away by Cameron Hyde, but it's out of play for a Redbridge throw. Very, very verbal from both sides, trying to communicate what they want with their team. It looks like it's going to be a long throw technique. A lot of players are up into their own penalty box here, and there's a lot of different players coming back for Biggleswade. I think that's what the uproar was about. It's going to be a long throw technique, almost Stoke City reminiscent here. A long throw in, the Biggleswade got to defend. It's not been quite cleared away. Mason Watkins got with the header away, but it still could be dangerous now. The cross comes in and looking for a corner. They get the corner. It's come off Cameron Hyde. Ball came in from Solomon. And it's come off Cameron Hyde, and it's going to be a first corner for the visitors. It took them a while to get going, Redbridge, but they are starting to get back, enjoying a lot more of the possession than they did in the first 10 minutes now, Redbridge. And it's now for Biggleswade's time to dig in. This is cup football, of course. There's no room for error for both sides. And Redbridge FC will now get their first corner of the afternoon. Feels like a bit moment in the game. A lot of players flooding the goalkeeper. Headed away by Cameron Hyde. Still dangerous. Cameron Hyde cleared away. Good shot from range straight to the goalkeeper. That was Simon Bamadelli with the shot just outside the box. And luckily for Ollie Leslie, it was straight to him. Well caught by the Biggleswade United shot stopper. And Ollie Leslie now with the kick away. Try and find Watkins Clark, who couldn't quite head it into play. Lewis Jones. Good play by Lewis Jones. Yemi, brilliant touchdown by Yemi Adelani. And if he can control this to get this through, he's now got it through to Taylor Winey. Taylor Winey through the Jaden Irish. He's got it through to Markel Cousins. Still Markel Cousins. Shot from outside the box, posted in! Markel Cousins! Fantastic finish for Biggleswade United! And Biggleswade have taken the lead in the FA Vars first round proper as Biggleswade United won. Redbridge FC 0, and just as I mentioned, Redbridge were just starting to get themselves a really good spell in this contest. Markel Cousins cuts inside. It was a fantastic move from left to right. Yemi through to Taylor, through to Jaden, and then through to Markel Cousins, his 6th goal of the season. And it puts Biggleswade United 1-0 up in the FA Vars first round. I mentioned they've only got to the second round of this competition once before. As it stands, they could equal their best ever run in the FA Vars. Markel Cousins, brilliant play by the entire front three there, and now they've got to react now, Redbridge. Milo Keane wins the ball back, loses it again. Markel Cousins makes sure he shifts celebration as well. It was a goal celebration by Markel. Loose ball by Milo, but Mason does brilliantly, and Taylor heads it onto Yemi Adelani. First time he's really been let loose, Yemi, on that left-hand side. We saw just how dangerous he can be. Taylor looking to find the run again to Markel Cousins. Brilliant touchdown now by Markel Cousins as Biggleswade look to try and capitalise. Cross in, too far for Yemi Adelani, but fantastic finish. I think it was his right foot. Goalkeeper, absolutely no chance. And if you're not, what is something that I would definitely recommend going back on the video stream later on tonight to watch it back. But it's hit the inside of the post and in. There's not much the goalkeeper could do about it. But Taylor Winey's won the ball back loosely. Been well defended there by Bradley Bennett of Redbridge. But Biggleswade United, as the old saying goes, they have their tails up at the moment, and they're not looking to stop Jordan Gerald now with Lewis Jones. Jordan Wright, mentioned a fantastic home form so far this season for Biggleswade. Jordan Wright, it's a loose ball by Jordan, but it's been back once again now with Jaden Irish, back through with Milo Keane. Now with Jordan Wright. Mason Watkins Clark looking for Lewis Jones, but Lewis Jones didn't quite commit to that. There's a lot of players still back now for Biggleswade. Looking for that ball to Martin now. Anthony Martins could be dangerous now. Ollie Leslie's got to get this ball, and he's caught it in the end. Joshua Olakulu tried to latch onto the ball there, but it was as Ollie already had it, the ball in both clubs. Even if he did manage to capitalise on that, I think the referee would have pulled it back for a foul on the goalkeeper, but in the end, Ollie did catch it well. Markel Cousins in an onside position, brilliant ball to him. Now through to Milo Cousins. Milo Keane's on his right-hand side. He's in the box now. Milo Keane to Taylor Wiley is two! Fantastic from Biggleswade United. They've been electric in the last 5 minutes, and Taylor Wiley gets his 12th for the season. And once again, it's that right-hand side that caused so many problems. It was it was Markel Cousins with a brilliant overlap with Milo Keane. Played it through to the unstoppable Taylor Winey. And Biggleswade United, as quick as lightning, have doubled the lead. It's Biggleswade United 2, Redbridge FC 0. And it's been an absolute dream first half so far for Biggleswade United. I mentioned the opening 10 minutes of the match. The opening 10 minutes of the match, I have to say, dominated by Biggleswade. And then the 10 minutes after that, between the 10 and the 20th minute, the 10 to 20 minutes, between the 10th minute and the 20th minute, Redbridge had a decent spell, but Biggleswade United went up the other end, got a brilliant goal by Markel Cousins, and they haven't stopped there. Taylor Winey now doubles the lead for Biggleswade United. And it is 2-0. But once again, I still wouldn't count out the visitors, but been a fantastic cup performance by Biggleswade so far. Milo Keane wins the foul from Teo Joshua Alakulu, and it is a free kick to Biggleswade inside their own half. But just the football and this for Biggleswade. I mentioned the team news if you are just joining us and you didn't know the team. It's the midfield three this afternoon of Lewis Jones, Mason Watkins-Scott, and Jaden Iris. Captain Gaz Hunt is on the bench. It looked like 7, maybe 6 to 7 centre backs on the team sheet this afternoon, but 2 of them are playing in midfield, and they're staying in midfield, and they're playing absolutely brilliantly. So it seems to be a masterstroke from Christian Collas. They are fantastic players, Lewis Jones and Mason Watkins-Hart, and they're showing their football ability in the middle of the park as well. And they've got themselves another free kick now, Biggleswade. REDBRIDGE seem to be losing their heads slightly here, and you can understand why. They probably didn't expect this relentlessness from Biggleswade United. 2 outstanding goals. One was a fantastic team goal, but they're both good team goals. But Markel's individual brilliance for the first, lovely, hit the post and in. And the second, just a fantastic build-up on this right-hand side, with Taylor getting his 12th for the season, his 12 goals in 13 starts for Biggleswade United. It's quite the start for Taylor Winey so far this season. Didn't score in the last game, which I know you would have been gutted about. His yellow card's been given to Bradley Bennett, and it's going to be a free kick now to Biggleswade. It's going to be Jordan Gerald over the free kick. 30 minutes played in what's been a quite outstanding last 10 minutes if you're a Biggleswade United supporter. Jordan Gerald now over the free kick for Biggleswade United. Crossing position around 40 yards out, 35 to 40 yards out here on our side. Jordan Gerald crosses in. A lot of numbers up for this. Goalkeeper's caught, but it's been dropped. Referee has given a foul against Biggleswade there. As the goalkeeper dropped the ball, was under a little bit of pressure there, Connor Whitley. And I mentioned the performance wasn't up to standard last week in the 2-0 win against Colney Heath. It's certainly been up to standard this afternoon. They're putting on a show out there this afternoon. Biggleswade United. Connor Whitley. Cameron Hyde clears away. Milo Keane's under a hell of a lot of pressure here from Joshua Okulu. He's had the better of him so far in the game, but Milo's staying very much close to him. Looking for the overlap. Markel's helped out Milo brilliantly defensively there. We saw Milo's ability of attacking with Milo. We saw Markel's defending with Milo there. Fantastic play by the forwards, helping out his defender there, Milo Keane. And now Biggleswade once again, counter-attack opportunity now. Jaden Irish on this left-hand side. He looks to be unfouled. He has been fouled. Crossing position now. And once again, from defence to attack, Markel Cousins, full credit there, helping out Milo, who was under a lot of pressure there by Joshua Olukolu. And it's going to be a free kick now to Biggleswade. On the left-hand side, with Taylor Wiley over the free kick. It's more of a crossing position closer to the corner flag than it is the D of the penalty spot. It's the best way I can describe it on audio, for audio commentary. Still getting used to audio commentary, so apologies there. But Taylor Wiley over a free kick. A lot of bodies up for this one. 3 players back for Biggleswade United as well. Biggleswade United with the cross in. It's going all the way over the bar. It was a mix between a shot and a cross, but Taylor Wiley won't mind that after being 2-0 up now. But yep, over the bar. Didn't come to much. And it's out of play for a goal kick in what has been an electrifying start here for Biggleswade United in the FA Vars first round. I think the vocal presence, the presence physically and verbally of Jordan Wright was a big miss last week. We're seeing just how pivotal I think he is at the back there for Biggleswade against a very, on paper, in the past, I still wouldn't count REDBRIDGE out of this. They've almost got at the moment, Biggleswade United are in full control of this game, but the one thing they must do is keep going all out. Well, not all out attack, but keep on going for these killer balls and try and kill the game off, because REDBRIDGE get 1 goal, they certainly have their tails up, and they're certainly a very good team that you don't want to get caught out against. Brilliant play by Milo. There was a bit of a free opportunity there for one of the fullbacks with REDBRIDGE to really run at it. There was no Biggleswade United player there. Milo Keane just covered his ground there, put the REDBRIDGE player under pressure and allowed the ball to go out of play for a Biggleswade throw. It was a really good play by Milo Keane. Milo Keane with the throw. They've given a throw in now to REDBRIDGE because of a foul throw. It's now Anthony Martin on the ball for REDBRIDGE. It could well be dangerous. They found that overlap ball to Solomon. It's been well dispossessed there by Cameron Hyde. Now back with Jaden Iris. They've kept him quiet so far, Solomon. They've had to so far this afternoon, but brilliant defensive play. And that's a brilliant ball by Jordan Gerald looking to find Markel Cousins. In the end, this time Bradley Bennett, who's not had the easiest of games up against Markel Cousins this afternoon, that's for sure. You wouldn't want to be up against him. They look to pass it around the back now, REDBRIDGE. And they've managed to get themselves a couple of decent passes in here. It's good pressing by Biggleswade to keep REDBRIDGE in their own defensive half. Brilliant play there by Lewis Jones, keeping the pressure on. REDBRIDGE still in possession, but they are so far deep in these passes. The Biggleswade United are almost... it's just relentless pressing. If it isn't Jaden, it's Mason. If it isn't Mason, it's Taylor. It's fantastic pressing by Biggleswade. They're playing it out still, though, REDBRIDGE. They're still enjoying this possession. They're inside their own attacking half now. They're looking for that overlap now with Bradley Bennett. They've got themselves a decent ball here. A lot of players back in for Biggleswade. The cross comes in. Cameron Hyde can't really quite keep it away. It's now with Teo Alakolu. And now it's cleared away by Jordan Wright and Taylor Winey. Heavy touch by Taylor. So now REDBRIDGE to keep the ball, but he's going to keep pressing this one now, Taylor Winey. Brilliant play by Mason Watkins-Clark. He's been caught, Mason Watkins-Clark. Markel Cousins going to play on. Mason, both players have gone for the ball there, and Mason certainly got off the worst there. And I think Markel Cousins is down as well here for Biggleswade. High intensity game, and Biggleswade United certainly playing with a very high intensity today. It's going to be a drop ball here. There was a heavy collision. Mason's back on his feet, which is good to see. This is only his third game back from his long-term injury, Mason Watkins-Clark. You wouldn't think it the way he's been playing. He's very much gives it his all, 110%. A lot of people can argue overdoes it sometimes, which is why he gets his injuries. But he gives his all, 100%. And that's what you want from a player. Almost too much for his own body to handle at times as well. By his own admission, I think, and his colleagues as well. Now it's Jaden Irish on the ball for Biggleswade. Keeps the ball for Biggleswade. Now it's back out with Mason Watkins-Clark. Now back with Lewis Jones. We wondered how Biggleswade were going to get all these fantastic centre-halves in this team. They're certainly finding it so far. Jordan Wright looking for that ball over the top to Taylor Wiley. It's been headed away there by Ayo Adenani, one of the first half substitutes. Lewis Jones, brilliant pressing. It's a ball over the top, which I think Ollie Leslie's going to have to try and deal with here. He's cleared away. Mason Watkins-Clark with the header. Crucial point in the game. We're under 5 minutes to go before half-time. Cameron Hyde heads away. Now back with JJ. It's a fantastic performance by Biggleswade. Everything that REDBRIDGE are throwing at Biggleswade at the moment has been dispossessed comfortably, you could argue. A best chance of the game at 0-0 for REDBRIDGE was that open goal missed by Anthony Martin. But since then, it's been all Biggleswade United going forwards. And this time, Akolu can put on the jet set up against Milo and Jordan Wright. He's on this left-hand side. This could be dangerous. And Milo Keane, once again, he's one of the standouts for players of the game so far. Milo Keane, once again, coming back to cover Teo Joshua Alakulu's cross. And it's another corner now to the visitors. Corner to REDBRIDGE. Just over 5 minutes before half-time. They look to get themselves back in the game. It's been punched away by Ollie Leslie. That's going to go back out of play now for a throw into Redbridge. But it's been a faultless first half display so far in this FA Vars first round proper between Biggleswade United and Redbridge FC. The long throws comes straight to Lewis Jones, clear the way. Milo Keane now is going to try and get onto this second ball. He's not the tallest, Milo Keane, but my God, does he get himself about. Now Taylor Winey, brilliant ball out to Markel Cousins. He's got space. Now he's back to Mason Watkins-Clark. Lovely little turn off feet by Mason Watkins-Clark. You'd be thinking he's played in midfield all of his life the way he's played this afternoon. Brilliant ball from Mark JJ to Cameron Hyde. Just too high for him. And it's out for a throw-in to Redbridge FC. It's taken, it's cleared away now by Watkins-Clark. Yemi hasn't quite had it his own way this afternoon, but when he has, he's been a real threat for Biggleswade on the left-hand side. Oh, and Taylor, Michael's left one on him there. Bradley Bennett, and it's going to be a free kick. Very much a forwards challenge there by Markel Cousins. Free kick to Redbridge. Under 5 before half-time. Important that we can keep this 2-0 lead. The cross comes in. Comes all the way through to Cameron Hyde. It still could well be dangerous. It was a good cross in there by Jack Chawner. Cross comes in again. It's cleared away by Jordan Gerald. Yemi Adelani will want to try and keep this in play. Couldn't quite. And it's going to be out for another throw now to the visitors. Cross comes in. Miteo with the keeping the ball. Markel Cousins putting him under pressure. Milo Keane, fantastic once again. Milo Keane now Biggleswade on the counter attack. Still under a bit of pressure in Milo. He wants the foul, not given there by the referee. The referee says play on, and now Milo's gonna have to run back for help out his defence now. He's now back with Redbridge, and it's Solomon trying to get up to the ball. Cleared away once again by Jordan Gerald. Out of play for another throw to the visitors. And it's going to be a dangerous cross. Milo Keane got the header and he's got the foul against Teo Joshua Olukulu. It's been a fascinating battle on that right-hand side, well, the left-hand side, attacking side of the left attacking side of Teo Joshua Olukulu for Redbridge FC and Milo Keane for Biggleswade United. And as I keep mentioning, at the moment, it is Milo Keane that has got the better of that battle. But it's certainly not been an easy battle for Milo Keane. And he's done absolutely brilliant. And he's even helped out, got himself an assist going forward as well. Fantastic Milo Keane in this game so far. And I can mention a load of players as well. JJ, Jordan Wright, Cameron Hyde. All defensively and going forward as well. Of course, Markel Cousins and Taylor Winey with the goals. Lewis Jones and Mason Watkins-Clark playing midfield for the first time. Jordan Wright clears away for Biggleswade. A couple of minutes ago before half-time. It is Biggleswade United 2. Redbridge FC 0 in the FA Vars first round proper. Yemi. Adelani coming back to Jordan Gerald. It's not cleared enough though. Now Yemi Adelani's got the ball back. He's helping out his team defensively. Now he lost the ball, but now Jaden's running back. Whenever Biggleswade United are losing the ball in this first half, they're running back and somebody else is winning it back straight away. It's relentless by Biggleswade. When they do make the mistake, they're certainly there to capitalise. Taylor Winey, he's through, but he is offside. Flags up for offside. I think he knew about that one as well, Taylor. And once again, it don't seem to be They've really been affected in Redbridge. They certainly will want the half-time whistle to go because they can certainly offer a lot more in this game. But Biggleswade United, to Biggleswade's credit, for our credit, I think the way we've really pressed at this Redbridge team, it's been absolutely relentless. And it's two teams in two different leagues, don't play each other very often at all. And you're seeing that with Biggleswade United playing absolutely brilliantly against this Redbridge team. They knew they had to. They've clearly done their research on the players to try and keep out the game. And they've done that brilliantly so far in this opening 45 minutes. They've just got to try and keep it going now. Lewis Jones clears away. Now Milo Keane. It's headed away. Cleared away by Redbridge. Now it's back out now with Lewis Jones as we enter the 45th minute mark. It's now Lewis Jones out to Yemi Adelani. Back with Jaden Irish. Turns and face, looks to find Markel Cousins. Couldn't quite find Markel Cousins. It's out of play for a throw. This ball was just too far for Markel. But he was prime and ready to latch onto that ball as he's done all day. Brilliant play by Mason Watkins-Clark. He's won the ball back. Mistake by the midfielder. And now it's back with Taylor Winey, who goes down. Shoved off. Referee says no penalty. It would have been soft, I think, to be fair, but definitely been pushed off the ball there. But once again, Mason Watkins-Clark using his defensive ability there to just poke the ball off Jack Chorner there. And the ball might have not been as strong as what he would have liked it there, but it's been a fantastic performance overall from Biggleswade United. We were in stoppage time. Thank you all, of course, for tuning in to this Twitter space. The throw is taken out for Markel Cousins. Now out with Lewis Jones. Jones out to Markel Cousins. Cross comes in. Oh, it's not been caught. Taylor Winey saved. Yemi, I just couldn't quite get there. It was nearly a mistake there in the back by Conor Wheatley, and you have to feel if that was gone in, Biggleswade United might have well had one foot in the hat for the second round. Brilliant again, Milo Keane allowing Biggleswade stay in play, and that's late. That is very late, and he could well be in trouble here. It's a very late challenge there from Teo Joshua Aluku. I've mentioned that battle on that right-hand side, and he could well be in trouble. We were right over this as well. I think we got this on camera. But Milo Keane's won the ball off of Aluku there, and in frustration, he's almost lashed out at him there, Aluku, for Redbridge, and referee, because they had an interesting one with Mason early on in the game. It'll be interesting to see what he does here. He's writing some notes here. Milo getting some treatment as well for Biggleswade. And brilliant play by Milo. He's back on his feet, which is good to see. And it's a yellow card there from Aluku, which I think with what happened with the Mason one earlier on in the game, that's probably the right decision. Jordan Gerald and Jordan Wright having a good laugh with each other. It's good to see them back. They didn't actually play in the same team last time in his opening debut there, in his second debut, because he came off. Jordan Wright came off for Jordan Gerald, so we didn't quite see them two combine. But now it's Yemi Adelani for Biggleswade United on this left-hand side. It's been moments before half-time. The play through Taylor Winey has been cleared away. Lewis Jones wins the ball back. It's still could be dangerous. No, Redbridge have got themselves the ball back. The referee checks his watch for the first time in the first half. Checks the watch the second time here. This could well be one of the last plays of the half. It's Bradley Bennett got all loads of space for the first time. And Markel Cousins has come back and done defensive duties. Milo was caught out there for probably the first time in that first half. And Milo Keane, for the second time in this game, has come back and helped his defence defensively. He's been fantastic going forward. And to his credit, has been brilliant defensively as well to help out his team. Corner to Redbridge. Got to be one of the last plays. Got to be one of the last plays of the half here. Corner to Redbridge. Very important that Biggleswade, I think, try and keep this at 2-0 just before half-time as well. They don't want to concede one just before half-time. Corner to the visitors. Taken. Headed away by Mason Watkins-Clark. It's still dangerous though. Markel Cousins clears away. Referee checks his watch again. Still playing here at the Keach Hospice Care Stadium. Loose ball cleared away, and now Taylor Winey can run for this. He's up against Whitley. It's a loose kick there by the goalkeeper, but I think that might well be that. We did have a couple of injury stoppages, so we are still playing actually now. Jordan wants his goalkeeper to get back for that, but he's going to go out and play for a goal kick. And I think the referee checks his watch once again. I think that might wrap up what has been arguably, and I'm going to say, the most impressive half of football for Biggleswade United so far this season. When you put into account the opposition they're facing, third in the Essex County League Premier Division, and it's been a quite flawless first half display from Biggleswade United. It's half-time here in what has been an electric half of football for Biggleswade United. They are playing their socks off out there against a fantastic team in REDBRIDGE FC. They've beaten two Essex Senior League Premier Division sides in the qualifying rounds in Southend, Manor and White Ensign. And as it stands, they're on course to make it a hat-trick of those teams. But this time in the first round proper, it all started with a fantastic strike from Markel Cousins, shot inside the post and in from outside the box. And then not shortly after that, fantastic overlap hit from Markel Cousins to Milo Keane. He played through an electric pass, which was an electric pass by Milo, an electric finish. Too quick for the goalkeeper, Connor Whitley, to deal with. Bottom right corner for Tony Wiley's 12th goal of the season. And that's put Biggleswade United in the front, in the ascendancy here. And as it stands, on course to equal their record of getting to the second round of the FA Vase. It's the furthest they've ever got in this competition. And at the moment, as it stands, they are going to equal that record. And Biggleswade United certainly will know they want one more just to try and keep it a little bit more comfortable. But overall, it's been a fantastic performance so far. We'll be back for the second half. We're hoping for the same again, really, for the second half. What's been quite outstanding at the Keach Hospice Care Stadium. It's Biggleswade United 2, REDBRIDGE FC 0. Do not go anywhere. We'll be back for the second half.
To take photos and then go down.
No worries.
Keep going, man. Thank you.
It's okay. We're back out here for the second half. Both sides back out for Biggleswade United. They'll definitely be looking for more of the same in this second half. What was quite a flawless, high pressing, high intensity half of football for Biggleswade United. A lot for the visitors to ponder as well. I always mention every week the two goal lead is certainly, it's a good scoreline in football, but it's certainly not the safest scoreline in football. As Yemi gives the old fist up there towards me. He'd certainly be hoping for a goal himself. He's got 5 for the season so far. Markel now second top goal scorer for the club, now with 6. Taylor still leading the way now with 12 goals after his goal in the first half. Fantastic work rate by Biggleswade in the first half, and they'll be looking to do the same in this second half. And for the visitors, I mentioned 2-0 down. But if they were to get themselves a goal back, it's certainly a different game. So for Biggleswade, they'll certainly want to try and keep up this intensity and keep up the level of performance they had in the first half. There's certainly no room for errors in this second half. They want to try and keep up this intensity and keep the pressure on this REDBRIDGE side, because when they have pressed them, REDBRIDGE have really struggled defensively and Biggleswade have flourished. So we'll be hoping for more of the same in this second half for Biggleswade United. I'm going to restart my stopwatch now for the second half as we're ready to kick us off with REDBRIDGE. They'll be kicking us off for the second half. With as expected, no real changes for either side at the start of the second half. Big 45 minutes, Biggleswade United. They keep this up. They will be in the hat for the second round of the FA Vase for only the second time in their history. As we do kick on, I'm just double checking whether that was I think that was a second sub actually. Michael Pindy coming on. I'm not quite sure who he's come on for, but it looks more like a back 3 now for the visitors. Maybe they're bringing an extra man going forward for them. Jaden Irish wins the ball back. We are underway for the second half. And REDBRIDGE will certainly be looking for a much stronger start to this second half to get themselves back in this game. But they'll know any mistakes will be punished by Biggleswade, as we saw in the first half. It's all about staying professional performance in the second half now for Biggleswade United. And Pindy's had an instant impact there, shrugging off Cameron Hyde. And it's Robbie Norris now for the visitors. The shot away in the end there by Anthony Martin is wide, but there's a good chance there by the visitors. And it just goes to show that they're certainly not willing to be out of this one. It looks like that shot actually took a deflection. It's out of play for a corner. So, yeah, opening minute of the half, and REDBRIDGE over the corner here for, over the corner now. I think it's their third or fourth corner. Little tactics there on that corner flag there for REDBRIDGE. It'd be interesting to see how they play this. All the set pieces have been dealt with strong by Biggleswade. The cross comes in. It's headed away comfortably by Watkins Clark. It's still dangerous. Ollie Leslie cannot collect. And REDBRIDGE are not happy with that. They felt they should have had a corner, but the referee has pointed for a goal kick. The goal kick's taken there by Ollie Leslie. Unfortunately, straight out play for a throw, and it allows the visitors to keep this pressure going. I mentioned 2-0. It's been comfortable for Biggleswade, but the next goal will certainly be crucial, because if REDBRIDGE can get this goal, I mean, it's very much back to being game on in this contest. And they're certainly, I mentioned, a very strong team that can punish Biggleswade, but we've just seen Biggleswade in the first half just been just that much better than Redbridge, and it's been a proper cup performance by Biggleswade United so far, and the cross in the end was caught comfortably there by Ollie Leslie, who's had a brilliant return back between the sticks, for Biggleswade United's goal kick's much better there. It's headed away by Bradley Bennett, but I think it's come off Markel Cousins there, and it's going to be a throw-in to Redbridge, who have enjoyed the majority of this possession in the first couple of minutes of the second half. I think Biggleswade knew they were going to be under a lot of pressure in the second half, and Lewis Jones has caught, I think it was Robbie Norris there, and it's going to be another free kick now to Redbridge FC. It's important that Biggleswade try and weather this storm a little bit now from the visitors. They're certainly going to be under a lot of pressure. It's going to be a free kick in a crossing position here, around 35 to 40 yards out. Cross comes in. Jordan Wright's had to get his foot onto it. It's still danger here, though, for Biggleswade. Michael Pindy's definitely made an impact since coming on at half-time. He's on the ball now and a shot from distance blocked by Lewis Jones. Still a bit of pressure here. Cleared away by Watkins Clark that time. Really put his body on the line there. Watkins Clark had to get it right. He's on a yellow as well. Lovely little touch there by Markel Cousins, but still pressure here by Redbridge. I think we're really going to see the quality of this side in the second half. Now, shot from distance. Wasn't a bad strike by Robbie Norris, but nothing for Ollie Leslie to really worry about, and it's a goal kick. Biggleswade United handled that pressure brilliantly. We saw fantastic attacking display in the first half. I think we're going to have to see a fantastic defensive display by Biggleswade in this second half, and they're going to see out this game. Mentioned both teams are very much high scoring. I saw there were going to be goals in this game. Biggleswade already have two of them, of course. I'll be very surprised if the scoreline does stay 2-0. Ollie Leslie with the goal kick. Lewis Jones with the flick on. Defensively, Anthony Martin can't seem to keep hold of the ball there, and Jordan Wright was a bit of a loose touch by him. Back now with Ollie Leslie. Yemi Adelani is going to put the Jets on here, Yemi. And he's actually flags up for offside. And it's now a free kick here to Redbridge. The goalkeeper, it's not a bad ball, that. Jordan Wright's had to head it away, and in the end, it's a good header back to his goalkeeper. Jordan Wright there to Ollie Leslie. He's taken the throw. Long, lovely throw there by Ollie Leslie through to Cameron Hyde. Going to have to be specific here. They can't seem to keep the ball at the moment, Biggleswade. And Jordan Gerald here. Heavy touch by JJ. Do a bit of pressure by Anthony Martin, but in the end it's back with the goalkeeper, Ollie Leslie. Couldn't quite get on the head of Markel Cousins. Mason Watkins Clark clears away, and Taylor or Markel, one of the two. It's just too far for either of them, and it's out of play for another throw-in. Redbridge, as I thought they would, really come out the gate strong in this second half, and if they want to stay in the FA Vars, they're going to have to go out fighting, and that's certainly what they've done in the early stages of this second half. And it's out now with Lewis Jones. Lewis Jones heads away. In midfield, that's Lewis Jones. And Markel Cousins, I think they've given a free kick against him there. Inside their own half. You are just joining us. 2 first-half goals in a relentless 45 minutes for Biggleswade United. I mentioned best half of football here I've seen in quite this season. 2 first-half goals from Taylor Winey and Markel Cousins. I thought Biggleswade 2-0 up, but in the start of this second half, Redbridge, we knew they had to come out fighting in the second half. They want to get back into this contest, and they've certainly done so in the opening 10 minutes of this second half. Biggleswade United under a lot of pressure. They held that pressure well in the first half. They're going to have to do the same in the second. Milo King clears away. Flawless performance by him so far. Flicked on by Watkins Clark, and now Taylor Winey is going to chase this ball through, and it's going to be a throw-in now to Redbridge. but still that press, high press. It'll be interesting to see just if Biggleswade United can keep this high press, high intensity going for 90 minutes. It's going to be very tired legs going into probably the final 15, 20 minutes of this game. But so far, they're looking to do well. Milo Keane keeps Ollie Leslie's goal kick in play. And in fact, it ricochets off Simon Bamadelli for a throw in here to Biggleswade inside their own half. Now back with Redbridge. Jordan Wright heads away. Milo Keane clicked on, and Yemi Adolani's going to try and click onto this. Yemi Adolani. Oh, it was well dispossessed by the defender, and I think it had to be as well. Proper battles out there. Jaden Irish wins the ball back for Biggleswade. He's now back with Adolani. Now back with Cameron Hyde. Biggleswade have managed to get themselves out of this now. Lewis Jones looking for that ball to Markel Cousins, and once again, it's just too far for Markel, but they know that Markel Cousins, particularly in that first half, had the beating of Bradley Bennett out on that left-hand side. And every time they're looking to try and get that ball through to him. Yemi that time capitalised well on the bounce. But to his credit, the defender, Adeyaki, came back brilliantly well there. And they want the throw in there, Biggleswade, or maybe even a foul, but a throw-in's given to Redbridge. And it's a throw-in has been taken. Count now with Solomon Ogonwonju and it's Jordan Wright who's cleared away. He's going to be out of play for a throw-in. I think Biggleswade United know they're certainly in a battle here in this second half. And what's a brilliant crowd here at the Quiche Hospice Care Stadium. Going to be another long throw technique here for the visitors. Anthony Martin flicked on. Actually, they've gone short there. Markel Cousins that time clears away. It's another throw in. It didn't actually go long this time. They went short and crossing. Well, it could catch us out there, but Jordan Gerald clears away very well. Managed to keep the ball here. Redbridge cross comes in. Could be dangerous. It's Pindy again. He's arguably been their best player since coming on at half time. Pindy with the cross in. Header, brilliant save by Ollie Leslie. Fantastic save by Ollie Leslie. Could well be a match-winning save. It was cheered on as if it was a goal by the players and the supporters. Pinpoint header there. I'm not quite sure who got the header, but it was quite a phenomenal save to his left by Ollie Leslie on his return to the sides. And my word, did they need him where it's out of play for a corner, but what a fantastic save that is by Ollie Leslie. Corner to Redbridge. Cross comes in. It's come for everyone. And I think they've given a free kick here to Biggleswade from the corner there. That's got to be Redbridge FC's best chance of the game. It's certainly one of the few chances, probably the second time they've really tested Ollie Leslie between the sticks for Biggleswade. But my word, what a save that was by Ollie Leslie. It'll be worth watching that back on the YouTube stream alone later on tonight or tomorrow, because that was a fantastic save by Ollie Leslie. I cannot throw it enough. Outstanding. If you saw that sort of save at any level of the game, you'd be impressed. And he's now got himself the goal kick as well. And Mason Watkins-Clark has been brought down off the ball here. He's down. Don't like Mason to stay down as well with his injury record. Definitely heard the squeal from the sidelines there. And I'm back now with Redbridge. Michael Pindy again, causing all sorts of problems here for the visitors. Michael Pindy, but Redbridge, brilliant play by Cameron Hyde, and in fact, is only a goal kick. I thought that might have come off Cameron Hyde there, but it's a ricochet of Michael Pindy who certainly made an impact in the second half. It's been a game of two halves here, but so far, Biggleswade United have stayed resilient. Next goal, I keep on saying it's crucial. If you see the scoreline on this audio Twitter space and you think, oh, it's only 2-0, I'm not going to go anywhere. I'm going to, check it back later. Don't go anywhere, because this game is still very much on the knife edge with this pressing by the visitors. It's been a proper good cup game of football, this. And Biggleswade United know they're in for a fight, and they're up for the fight as well, as we saw in that first half. Have to feel if Biggleswade can just get back to playing how they were playing in that first half and really take the game to REDBRIDGE and even hit them on one counter-attack. We can see so far they haven't managed to get that ball over to Markel Cousins, but when they did in the first half, he was electric. And also on the left-hand side with Yemi Adelani as well. They need to start doing that a little bit more often, because at the moment REDBRIDGE are really enjoying themselves in the middle of the pitch, especially in midfield. That's a lovely ball over the top now. Milo Keane once again is cleared away. It's the nice Solomon Ogun Wamaju. And I think it was actually Taylor Joshua Alakulu who came off for Michael Pindy. And you're certainly seeing the impact Michael Pindy has made. Mason Watkins-Clark is back on the ground. Looked to have, he's taken off his trainer and his boot. He's checked his ankle. It looks red from here. And we know his history with that. I hope that's not the same foot that he done his ACL in last season, because if it is, you'd have to feel for Mason Watkins-Clark if it is the same leg. But he's been absolutely excellent out there. There's options on the bench for Biggleswade, but my words, we wouldn't want this to be serious for Mason Watkins-Clark at all. He's been absolutely excellent since returning from his injury. And he's certainly, as I mentioned, he's a player that gives it his all, 110%. And as I said, he's almost gives himself, he commits so much in his game that he almost commits so much that his body can't even take the amount that he commits to. He's that type of player. Back on his feet and he's walking, which is great to see with his trainers back on. Christian's signalled for a substitution here, and I think it's probably the smart move. There's certainly options on the bench here for Christian, as REDBRIDGE will be looking to make the long throw. First substitution of the day. Mason Watkins-Clark limps off on his own feet, which is great to see. And you don't want to take the chance. He's brilliant in the midfield. And Mason Watkins-Clark comes off, and number 12, Josh Danilo, comes on. The fact that he was walking in his own, by his own, on his own there is a good sign. The long throw now for REDBRIDGE, headed away by Lewis Jones. And now this could well be a counter-attack for Biggleswade. I mentioned their counter-attack technique now with Markel Cousins on this left-hand side. Markel Cousins for Biggleswade, lovely little flick inside. Finds Taylor Winey, still Taylor Winey. Under a lot of pressure, a lot of players are on him here. Now Milo Keane, still danger here. Brilliant ball out to Yemi Adelani. Yemi takes the touch on. It's Adelani! It's cleared off the line, and it's caught by the goalkeeper. Yemi, we mentioned the last few weeks, he hasn't been clinical in front of goal. And my word, Yemi Adelani there, he took the first touch fantastically well. But the chance was cleared off the line, and as I mentioned, it's been all REDBRIDGE in the second half. But a goal on the counter-attack for Biggleswade surely could put this game to bed. We nearly saw just that there after the substitute, and how pivotal of a moment could that be in this match? Key moments in this game here. And it's in the end, it's back out with Ollie Leslie, but it's been a good response. Apologies there. Good response here by Biggleswade United. Now it's back out with Jordan Gerald. Ball over the top. He's looking for Yemi Adelani. It's back to the goalkeeper. Both Taylor and Yemi look a lot more central. It looks more like a 4-4-2 now with Markel and Markel certainly helping out his team a lot more defensively. It's definitely now a 4-3-3 back off the ball, but 4-4-2 looks like more on the ball. As Yemi now seems to help out his defence a lot more now, and it's going to be needed as well. Yemi Adelani back with the ball in his own half. He's now got the ball with Markel Cousins looking for that ball to Taylor Winey. It's been cleared away and dealt with well by the REDBRIDGE defence. And that ball was too far for Bradley Bennett. It's out of play for a throw, but this is a real high-intensity game of football here between two very good footballing sides. Let's not sugarcoat this whatsoever. Biggleswade United only 3 points off the top four in the Spartans League, and REDBRIDGE third in the Essex County Senior League. Yemi Adelani's hold-up play, excellent there, and wins his team a free kick. Free kick to Biggleswade. No room for mistakes here. High intensity match in the FA Vars first round. Jordan Gerald with the cross in. He's looking for that ball to Jordan Wright. And they've got themselves a corner there. Jordan Wright done his job well there. Got in between two defenders there, Jordan Wright. It's come off one of those defenders and out of play for a corner. He's put his arm up instantly there as if to say corner. Markel left it. And if it was given us a goal kick, it wouldn't have been a good decision for Markel to leave it. And we've seen Cameron Hyde take a couple decent short free corners here. He's done the same thing here. It's Cameron back to Markel Cousins. About Cameron Hyde outside the box. Takes a shot. It's blocked. I think that was well scouted there by REDBRIDGE. If he'd done that a couple of times, Cameron Hyde. Now back out with Jordan Wright. He can muscle off his defenders well there, and then he's been fouled and given the free kick. Good play there by FA Vars winner, Jordan Wright. Free kick to Biggleswade. They've really responded well to the early pressure in the second half of REDBRIDGE. We knew REDBRIDGE had to respond after being 2-0 down at half-time. They certainly have done that. They haven't scored, but Ollie Leslie's made a brilliant save. And since that save by Ollie Leslie, it's been Biggleswade have really woken up going forwards, particularly since Mason's come off as well. And Josh has really come on. And that's not a knock on Mason. He's done brilliantly. But Taylor Winey, is it too far out for him? We saw him get a shot, score from a free kick against London Colney early on in the season. That was the winner in a 2-1 win away from home. This is a bit more further out, but he's certainly looking like he's going to go for this. Taylor Winey over the free kick for Biggleswade, up and over, and it's over the bar as well. I think he tried to go for the knuckleball there, Taylor Winey, and instead it's gone well over the bar. It was almost a wasted opportunity there, but the way he's been, 12 goals in 13 starts, can't knock his confidence to go for something like that. It's Jordan Gerald. So could well be a loose ball here. Stanillo, brilliant play by Stanillo. It's Yemi Adelani. He could well be through on goal, but the referee's actually stopped it for a free kick. He waited to play an advantage, the referee, and Yemi Adelani has almost run through there. It was almost one-on-one, and the referee stopped it and pulled it back for a free kick. Yemi is absolutely gutted there because he could have well been through on goal one-on-one, but the referee's pulled it back. It's still going to be a free kick to Biggleswade. But, yeah, I don't think he'd have been gutted there. It certainly was a foul on Josh Stanillo, who made that happen there, Stanillo. Who's certainly not going to be an easy game to come into, this game. Yellow card's been given to Robbie Norris of REDBRIDGE FC. And now it's going to be Jordan Gerald over the free kick. It's 4 players back for Biggleswade as well. Jordan Wright has gone up. Free kick. It's just wide to the post there. He went for goal there, Jordan Gerald. It was probably a bit further out, a bit wider than it was closer than Taylor's around 2 minutes before that, but it was still wide by Jordan Gerald. Jordan Wright heads it back now to Jaden Irish, and he's looking for that ball out to Markel Cousins. This will stay in play, and Markel can continue to run at this. Now it's back right with Lewis Jones. Better now from Biggleswade. Jaden Irish. He looks to control in the second half now. And that ball was way too far by JJ to Cameron Hyde. I think they've just got to be a bit easy on the ball here, though. They're in a tendency. They're 2-0 up. but they really cannot afford to make many mistakes, and that's a brilliant dispossession there by Cameron Hyde. Now Jordan Wright looking to find Adelani, just too far for him. It was well defended. Now back out now with Michael Pindi. Brilliant play by Jordan Gerald. Just muscles make sure that that Anthony Martin doesn't get onto that ball for the counter. JJ had held his ground brilliantly there, and he's let the ball go out of play for a goal kick. Brilliant play by the centre half. As we enter the final 20 minutes of the half. As it stands, Biggleswade United set to equal their best ever FA Vase run. They've only ever got to the FA Vase second round, and I was told by Tracy in that run they skipped one qualifying round. So technically, this is the joint most rounds of the FA Vase they've ever played. But in terms of the second round proper, they've only got there once. So it'd be a huge achievement. And we saw with Newport Pagnell winning the Vase last season at the same level that Biggleswade United were in, same step in the pyramid. That is certainly, anyone can win this competition. It's just trophy. It's a chance to play at Wembley for these players that would only dream of playing. We saw Jordan Wright, who's returned to the club. He was there with Newport Pagnell last season, as he would love to repeat it with Biggleswade United this season. And that throw-in was a long throw by REDBRIDGE, headed into goal, but it was just over the bar, and it wasn't really much for them to worry about. Make sure you do follow us on Twitter at Biggleswade UTD to never miss a audio commentary. We've got a huge game tomorrow as well, actually. It won't be live, but it will be at the Keychoice Biscayne Stadium. It's Biggleswade United Women's Reds up against Danceable Women. That's tomorrow, 2 o'clock. If you can head on down to the Keychoice Biscayne Stadium to support the Women's Reds, that would be amazing. The Biggleswade United, that ball once again, this time by Lewis Jones, just too far for Cameron Hyde. Yeah, it's a big game for the Women's Reds tomorrow. So around 20 minutes to go. Still Biggleswade United 2, REDBRIDGE FC 0. And it's Bradley Bennett over the phone here for the visitors. Lewis Jones has been pulled down a little bit there by one of the other substitutes, but still could be dangerous here. JJ's cleared away. He's not happy about it, but it's another corner now to the visitors. So they continue to threat. Corner to REDBRIDGE. There's a player down for Biggleswade. We're going to check who that is in just a moment. Been a very hard-hitting, high-intensity match. It was Lewis Jones down, but he's looked to be okay. Corner for REDBRIDGE. Header, it's just wide of the post. It's a huge opportunity. I think it was Anthony Martin again. That's his third big chance of this game. Wide of the post, it was a free header, and you could argue it's a let-off for Biggleswade. Because if that goes in, Lewis Jones, I think, is still is back on the floor. And two normally centre halves played their socks off in midfield today. Mason Watkins got to come hobbling off, and I think Lewis Jones is in some pain there. Lewis Jones. Don't think he's going to last the rest of the game. We do have captain Gaz Hunt on the bench as well. Apologies there. I just dropped my phone, which is not good. My phone, not the streaming phone. And it's The substitution will be made. Lewis Jones comes off. Another one that comes off at his own accord here. Oh, no, sorry. Lewis Jones, is he going to be coming off? No, it's not. It's actually Markel Cousins. Lewis Jones looks to be okay. And Raheem Jabba comes on for Markel Cousins. A man who's really made a difference in that first half and the man that was an impact in both goals comes off. Raheem Jabba, who did score in one of the qualifying rounds, score against Southend Manor in the first qualifying round. The FA Vars gets himself on the pitch this afternoon. So I'll make sure both phones are charging. And it's now back out with Milo Keane. Raheem Jabba will certainly have the energy. And it's Raheem Jabba straight away causing problems. Jabba been brought down. And he wins it. He wins his team the corner. And that's exactly what Raheem Jabba was brought on to do. There's a lot of tired legs out there. And rightfully so for Biggleswade United. Just to confirm, Lewis Jones is still on the pitch. Which is good to see he stayed on. Raheem Jabba comes on. Instantly causes danger for any defender he comes up against. And if the defender for Redbridge got that wrong, it would have been a penalty. But instead, it's a corner to Biggleswade United. They look to try and hold this for the last 15 minutes of the 90. Biggleswade United corner. 2-0 to Biggleswade. Corner taken. Cameron Hyde crosses in. Headed away. Back out now through out to Josh Danilo. Danilo. Now to Jaden Irish. Irish to Jabba. Jabba for that ball in now to Taylor Winey. Now back out with Josh Danilo. Now back out with Taylor Winey. Goes for the cross in. Taken away by the defender. Still in play though. Brilliant play by Jaden Irish. Just allowed that time to hold up on the ball. Now back with Jordan Gerald. Cross. He's looking for Yemi Adelani. He's collided with the goalkeeper there. And it certainly looked bad there by Yemi. You can tell it was no intent in that whatsoever. But he hasn't moved. He actually shake there, Yemi Adelani. He's been caught between both. To just describe for people listening in, of course, on the Twitter space, Yemi, he's back. He's moving, which is fantastic to see. He's gone for the ball. So is the goalkeeper, and I think he's almost got a knee to the face there. And you know, the goalkeeper there making sure the opposition goal, making sure Yemi's all right. That's good sportsmanship by Connor Whitley, the captain of Redbridge. Fair play by him. And he's going to be checked on there with concussion protocols in the game at any level. We want to make sure Yemi's okay. It certainly looked like a really big fall there. A big hit as well, which certainly would have knocked him quite a bit. But Yemi, I think he wanted to try and get back on the pitch here, but I think Bernat's going to have a check with him. So Biggleswade, and temporarily down to 10 men. Yemi, I think, wants to get back on the pitch, and he is back on the pitch. So he's back on the pitch after having a bit of a drink, which is good to see. And Anthony Martin now with the strike has been blocked. Now he's pinned in, and again, brilliant save by Ollie Leslie. 2 match-winning saves, you could argue here, potentially by Ollie Leslie. So almost as if that breaking play really caught Biggleswade out off guard, and it was brilliant defending by the likes of Jordan Wright, and a top save by Ollie Leslie. And as Redbridge continue to press, it's going to be a throw-in here. That's going to be taken long here by Redbridge. They haven't got long now, and they're still 2-0 down, but my word, they're giving this a good go in this second half. They're taking the long throw, and the linesman's flagged. Linesman's flagged for a foul throw there, so it's a huge mistake there by the Redbridge player. Went for the long throw, and I believe they've actually given a foul throw now, so it's going to be a throw into Biggleswade. So that's a big mess up there for that Redbridge player. I believe that was Jack Chorner, who's really not happy with his Bradley Bennett. Sorry, he's really not happy there with the. He's really not happy there with the referee, Bradley Bennett. But he's given a throw in now to Biggleswade in the same position. Now Stanillo, that's good pressing there by Stanillo. Brilliant by Stanillo. And then it was Robbie Norris there with the shot under a lot of pressure, wide of the post. Goal kick's going to go all the way through Taylor Winey. No, it hasn't. It's been cleared away by the defender. I thought for a second only. Done an Alison to Salah there. Not today, last week, of course. But defender managed to keep onto the ball. I think they've given a handball there to Solomon Ogonwolaju, who's certainly had a quiet game for his standards. I mentioned 8 goals to the season for him. I think he's controlled the ball with his hand. No, sorry, he hasn't. It's the referee. The linesman's got his flag up for offside. Apologies. It's been a chaotic game here at the Keats Hospice Care Stadium. The game that's for Biggleswade. They've had very few chances going forward in the second half, but my word, have they been? It's been a gritty second half performance. It's been a resilient second half performance after an electric attacking first half. We're seeing Biggleswade United's defensive capabilities on full display in this second half, and we thought that would be the case after REDBRIDGE knew they had to come out here, and now they're looking to hit them here. Justin Lillo, Yemi Adolani's actually come off the defender, so he's going to go for a strike. It's well over the bar, but the flag's going to be up for offside anyway. Yemi's frustrated with himself there, but I don't think he'll be happy to see that offside flag. Wasn't quite sure if he could be offside because it's actually come off the defender there. So I think the offside would have been invalid. But anyway, the linesman's given offside and it didn't go in the back of the net, so we shouldn't really matter too much. And Stanillo has really put himself in there. Once again, he's put under pressure, and Jordan Wright, it's almost up for the goalkeeper there, which was a little bit of a risk by Jordan Wright. Looking for a handball on Milo Keane now. They've been very soft. They've given the handball. And this is a free kick to REDBRIDGE. Again, it's around 40 odd yards out, but he's controlled it with his, probably the inside of his arm, but he's got his arms by his side, so it certainly would have looked a bit soft for sure. Is this free kick? We're into the final 10 minutes now. Cross comes in, punched away by the goalkeeper. And still pressing now. It's cleared away by Lewis Jones. Now Biggleswade will be looking to hit REDBRIDGE on the counter-attack. I think Taylor's in an offside position. Yemi, that's way too much of a pass wasn't there for Yemi. And he knows it, but Biggleswade United will still keep. The time is certainly on their side at the moment. REDBRIDGE back on the ball now, and Yemi wins the ball back for Biggleswade. That ball, brilliant ball out from Jaden Irish now through to Raheem Jabba. It's Jabba through to Winey, and he's just fluffed his lines, and the flag's up for offside again. They're getting closer for a third here, but they just can't see the time they're running. Jabba's certainly been an impact since coming on because their attacking prowess of Biggleswade United has gotten back to the first half standard since Jabba's come on. We needed that injection of real pace and intensity. It's another free kick there. The referee's not even seen this, by the way, as it's right in front of me. Raheem Jabba has fouled Joseph Elliott. They've given the free kick. The defender has called for a free kick, and he's given the free kick. I don't think the referee even saw the foul. The linesman gave the throw, but he's given the free kick in another dangerous position here for the visitors. We're in the final 9 minutes of the match. 81 minutes played. Caught free kick to REDBRIDGE. Cross comes in. It's good. Has to be perfect here for Biggleswade. And they've given a free kick the other way to Biggleswade United. I think there might have been calls for a penalty. Jordan Gerald has got himself in there. It's been a real hard-hitting game in this second half. With bodies on the line and full commitment from Biggleswade United. And just a reminder, as you can see on the bottom of your screen on the stream, If you'd like to sponsor us, please contact biggleswadeunited@gmail.com. It is £75 per season to sponsor a player. And if you're not watching this match or even listening to it and you don't feel like, if you're not, it's a fantastic opportunity for your local business. We can promote your local business if you sponsor any of our players, and it really helps out the players as well. So, yeah, £75 per season. Contact biggleswadeunited@gmail.com. And they're looking for a foul here for Josh Danilo. Here he's been caught, and Christian Collas is absolutely furious on the touchline. I think he might have a case here. Was caught with his head there, Josh Danilo. Referee, he's had a lot of decisions to make in this game. He's let a lot go. Referee is holding the ball. Interesting to see what he gives here. He's having a word with Bradley Bennett, I believe, with the two captains, Jaden Irish and Connor Whitley, the two captains. Having a word with his captains, I think it might be just to try and control the players a little bit more. Not quite sure what he's given in terms of a foul, but the captain have been called over by the referee. Jaden Irish for Biggleswade United and Connor Whitley for REDBRIDGE FC. I'm sure there'll be quite a few stoppages for this as well. A lot of stop and starts in the last 10 minutes. Still not quite sure what the referee's giving here. It looks like a drop ball, so there wasn't a foul. Danilo's back on as well, and it was a drop ball. There wasn't a foul in there on Jaden Irish and just got any troubles. But they can't give that for handball. That's ridiculous. And there's a REDBRIDGE. I think they're trying to call for everything at the moment. Can't blame him. Can't blame them with the circumstances of the game. They're desperate to try and get back in this game. But Biggleswade are really putting the fight in here. Yemi Adelani has been dispossessed. Jaden Irish couldn't quite win the ball back. Lewis Jones does brilliantly. We've all statement if Biggleswade can keep a clean sheet as well as go through to the next round against this calibre of side in REDBRIDGE FC, but they've got their work cut out in the last 15 minutes if they want to do that. Danilo wins the ball back brilliantly, and now Taylor Winey will be looking to chase. That's going to stay in play as well, Taylor Winey. And he's won the corner. He's given the goal kick, and I thought for sure that was a corner to Biggleswade United, but the referee has said goal kick. Ball over the top here for REDBRIDGE. Cameron Hyde's got to get this right. Tear away. Throw in. Brilliant play there by the left back. Still playing here. Cross comes in for REDBRIDGE. We're into the final 4 minutes of the 90, which I'm sure there'll be a good couple of minutes of injury time as well. REDBRIDGE really desperate going forward now. They know time's very much against them, and for Biggleswade, they're staying calm, they're staying settled. It's important, I think, that a breaking play came at a crucial time because you didn't want Biggleswade just to lose their heads there, and they didn't. They're much more mature now than they were 12 months ago, that's for sure. And they're just being a professional performance in this second half. It's been defensively sound. And now they look to hit on the counter. Taylor couldn't quite keep his feet together. Yemi's still going to run for this ball, though. Adelani, brilliant pressing by Yemi, and that's exactly what he can do out wide there, Yemi. Fantastic. Back out now with the REDBRIDGE goalkeeper, Connor Whitley. Headed away now by Cameron Hyde, as far as Lewis Jones is cleared away now himself. So they're not. Been a lot of play off the ball here for Biggleswade. Brilliant tackle there by Josh Danilo, who's really did well since coming on. Cross, turn and face, goes for strike, and it's caught. Oh, it's had to be caught. Brilliantly caught by Yoli Leslie. He took the strike on outside the box. I think that was number 10, the substitute, Lou Hazelwood. Shot was caught by Oli Leslie, nearly spilled it, but then he's caught it a second time. I think Redbridge won a foul. They felt Hazelwood might have been fouled after the shot was taken. And Redbridge are still going to keep complaining to the referee. It's important Biggleswade stay out of this because, like I said, at least under 10 minutes to go with around 3 minutes left on the clock. But with the amount of stoppages there have been, I wouldn't surprise if there's at least another 5 minutes on top of the 4 minutes that we have left. So still all to play for Biggleswade at the moment. I'm seeing the clock down brilliantly. It's been a game or two. Hazelwood back down here for the visitors. He's just checking referee to see if he's okay. Last 5 minutes. Biggleswade look to go to back-to-back clean sheets. Cameron Hyde with the throw. It's long. And Jabba's going to see if he can get onto this. Danilo heads it. Back into danger. Jabba. Back to Taylor Winey. He plays through to Danilo. He's been fouled. Free kick. Just outside the box. Bit of play there. Referee certainly going to get his cards out for this. The amount of fouls in this game for either side, I'm surprised there hasn't been, he's let a lot go in the circumstances and he's, let the game flow, which is what we like to see. Another hard-hitting tackle there, that time by Jack Charner, the referee. And I think the players also trying to tell him to hurry up as well because of the time left on the clock. But if you do that after just making a challenge, you're going to get yourself even into more trouble, Jack Charner. Referee checks his pocket, gives the yellow cards. And it's going to be a free kick. And this is Taylor Winey range. And we made sure we try and set up this camera perfectly for this here. Taylor Winey over the free kick. This would be to put the final nail in the coffin in this game. He's got one already. 12 goals for the season. One was a free kick. He's got a free kick outside the box in what has been a relentless game of football. Brilliant attackingly for Biggleswade and defensively just as good as the attack was for Biggleswade in the first half, just as good defensively in the second. Taylor Winey to wrap it up for Biggleswade. Just outside the box, just outside the D of the penalty box as well. Around 20-odd yards out. Taylor Winey, the free kick. Saved by the goalkeeper. Sort of to his bottom right. Redbridge looks to try and get away, but Jaden Irish has won the ball back. Redbridge are really trying to call for absolutely everything at the moment. But Biggleswade not in any sort of rush here whatsoever. JJ out to Raheem Jabba. Heavy touch by him, but he's kept it on. Winey now back to Jabba. Raheem Jabba is taking his time with this, doing brilliantly well. Jabba has been dispossessed though. And a free kick's been given to Redbridge. The advantage wasn't given there. It was a foul on from Taylor Winey.
Oh, Taylor, that's it.
And the ball is exactly where Biggleswade United would want it. Redbridge are still going to keep trying pressing for this this goal back, but with a couple minutes left now, certainly looks like Biggleswade will be getting themselves in the second round. Jaden Irish, and once again, it's another foul. It's now a bit soft there, I think, now for that challenge. It looks like Jaheim Flemings will be coming on very soon for his third substitute appearance for Biggleswade, I believe, this season. Or fourth, one of the two. Jaden Irish, the captain of Biggleswade, having another word with the referee. He's the man that caught Jack Chorner there. Very interested to see who's given the player of the match. We will have post-match reaction with Christian and the player of the match. I don't choose the player of the match, so we'll see who gets given the player of the match this afternoon. And it is Yemi Adelani coming off for Biggleswade United in the final seconds of the game. for Jaheim Flemings. It's been a good afternoon for Yemi. He's been unlucky in front of goal once again, but he's really put a shift in this afternoon. He's really put a shift in. Very well played this afternoon by Yemi Adelaide. And he comes off after a really good shift for Jaheim Flemings. Free kick to Redbridge. It's crossed in. It's going to be dangerous. Punched away by Oli Leslie that wants to keep that clean sheet on his return to the team. Jaden Irish wins the ball back in midfield. Gets it back with Josh Danilo. He's looking for that 1-2. It's Jaden Irish. He's lost out though, Irish, and so is Lewis Jones, but it's been cleared by Jordan Gerald. I said we will have post-match. And now Taylor Wiley plays through to Jaheim Flemings, who's just come on. He's got Wiley with him as well. It's Jaheim Flemings who went for goal himself. And Wiley was ready for that tap in. But brilliant play by Biggleswade. And they could have had the game right there. Still once again. But it's out and it's gone over the bar. We're in stoppage time. We're actually 3 minutes into stoppage time. So we're past 90 minutes. It's Biggleswade United surely in the second round of the FA Vars. I think there'll still be a good couple of minutes though due to stoppages in this second half. Biggleswade United thanks to 2 first half goals from Taylor Wiley and Markel Cousins. Both goals worthy of watching back on the YouTube stream later on tonight when that goes up. Thank you all, of course, for tuning into this Twitter Space live stream. It's been a relentless game of football. A good defensive shift in the second half. A fantastic attacking performance in the first. All around, it's been a great performance by Biggleswade. And now they're in a position where they probably know they're through, but they want to keep a clean sheet as well, which will really solidify this performance. Milo Keane goes down, wanting the free kick, but they've given another corner now to Redbridge. Corner to Redbridge. I think the goalkeeper was asking to signal for to come up for this, but his coach has said no. Cross comes in, punched away again, deflected by the hand of Ollie Leslie. There won't be longer left of this at all. Throw-in's taken. Cross in. It's a corner. Hit the side. Just hit the outside of the post and back out from the cross. And I think that's going to be that. And what has been a fantastic performance defensively and going forward for Biggleswade United. Into injury time. Biggleswade United. Free kicks taken. Come all the way through. Danilo's going to latch onto this. And Jabber's going to be through on goal. It's Raheem Jabber on his left-hand side for Biggleswade. Can they finish it off? It's through to Josh Danilo. It's been well defended. It was ricocheted and Danilo letting it go out of play for a throw into Biggleswade. He's not in any rush whatsoever there, Josh Danilo, to keep that ball in play. And they're going to let the clock go on here with Milo Keane walking towards the ball. Been fantastic game management by Biggleswade United. That's probably the best way to describe it, and I'll be interested to see. I think Christian will be delighted with this performance overall. And I really couldn't pick a player of the match, so I'm glad I'm not the one to do it. So we'll see who Tracy decides to pick. If she is the one to pick it this afternoon, we'll get that at full time. We'll get a player of the match interview, as well as a post-match with Christian, which will be live on Twitter after the match with me, Ryan Madden. Thank you all for listening in as well to the Twitter Space. We'll be back next Saturday, of course, as well. Cross from Jordan Gerald. Brilliant touch away by Raheem Jabber, who looks to add to the spoils. Pass through to Danilo. And Jabber just couldn't quite collect, but that is the full-time whistle in what has been a fantastic performance by Biggleswade United. They find themselves in the FA Milo Keane man of the match, and I have to say, he was my choice too, particularly in that first half and the second half as well. He was electric. Milo Keane is the player of the match, and he would have been my player of the match too. Outstanding performance. But you could have given it to multiple players out there. Fantastic performance by Biggleswade United. They get themselves through to the second round of the FA Vase for only the second time in their history. Well, can they go all the way? Jordan Wright certainly will be hoping so, as well as every Biggleswade United player. He got to Wembley and won the final with Newport Pagnell last season. Well, Biggleswade United are through to the second round against, no two ways about it, a very high quality team in REDBRIDGE FC. 2 goals, 2 first half goals. Markel Cousins, beautiful shot, post inside of the post and in to break the deadlock. And not too long after that, fantastic team goal from Milo to Markel to Milo to Taylor. Electrifying finish inside the box. That was his 12th for the season. And let's not forget as well, in the second half, Ollie Leslie made 2 world-class saves to keep his clean sheet and to keep Biggleswade alive in the FA Vase. A fantastic performance overall. Thank you all for tuning in to this Biggleswade United Twitter space. If you'd like to see the full match video highlights of this game, we will have them live tonight, hopefully on YouTube or tomorrow. It's well worth a watch for the goals and the saves alone. It's been an electric game. REDBRIDGE gave it their all second half. They really put Biggleswade under pressure, but Biggleswade hold firm in a fantastic victory. They would have arguably been the underdogs, they like it. Full time here at the Keach Hospice Care Stadium. A quite amazing result here for the club. It's Biggleswade United 2, REDBRIDGE FC 0. And we will have post-match reaction from Christian and player of the match interview with Milo Keane shortly on Twitter. Make sure you stay followed to the Biggleswade United Twitter account. Before we go, huge thank you to our sponsors. Winchmore Brickwork for being our men's senior sponsor for the season. The VO for sponsoring the women's team. Flawless Landscapes for being the reserve team sponsor. JMB Motorsports for sponsoring the vets team. Recycling Lives for being our general sponsor. And of course, Keach Hospice Care for sponsoring, formerly known as Second Meadow, now known as the Keach Hospice Care Stadium. Thank you for being our ground sponsor, Keach Hospice Care. That's going to be all it from me. Until next Saturday, we'll have another home game, I think, for Biggleswade United as well. So we will be back for that one on Twitter Spaces. Thank you all for tuning in. We'll be back for the next one. And a huge win for Biggleswade United.